Hey there, lovelies! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie, where I love to talk all things makeup. And if you're wondering how to get the perfect makeup look with all of the right colors and everything for your skin tone, then you've come to the right place, because I'm going to be covering color theory as well as throwing in some fall makeup color theory as well. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the three different undertones. First, we have warm, cool, and neutral. And if you have olive skin tone, that's going to fall under our neutral skin tone. Olive tends to have a little more green and yellow in it. It can be a little bit tricky, but it does fall under that neutral skin tone. Now, if you have warm skin tone, that means that your skin, can tan really easily. It looks kind of golden and peachy. If you have cool skin tone, that tends to mean that you have a little more pinky and rosiness to your skin. And if you're neutral, you're a mix of both. And if you have olive skin tone, you can be a mix of both as well. Now, to figure out which is your undertone, go up to a source of natural light. So this is going to be a window, just going straight outside. You don't want to do this inside because the lights inside can be a little unnatural. Sometimes they lean a little more yellow or they're really bright white, and that can just throw off this color matching you're trying to figure out for yourself. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull up your wrist here, and you're going to look at this area on your skin. This is where your veins pop out the most, and they're going to be the most prominent and colorful. Now, if you are warm skin tone, you're going to have green veins. And if you have cool skin tone, you're going to have a mix of purple and blue veins. And if you have neutral, then you will have a mixture of both. Olive tends to lean a little more green veiny, but you can have some mix of others in there as well. Now, a quick story on figuring out your undertones. Forever, I thought that I was cool undertone because I did not tan like some of my siblings, and I was told forever growing up, you're so fair skin. And I do have rosiness in my skin under my cheeks, quite a bit of it. So I just thought I was cool tone. So that meant that I was buying rosy foundations and pinky foundations, and I was just like, these do not look good on me at all. It was like emphasizing the redness in my face, just not a cute look. And then several years after that, I had a friend who told me, no, you're actually neutral skin tone. And I was like, what? No. And she was like, yes, you are neutral. And so I went and did the vein test, because at that time I didn't know about it. I did the vein test, and most of my veins are blue and purple, but I have a little bit of green in my veins as well, and actually quite a bit of green. So then I started buying neutral foundations, and I'm so much happier with the way that my makeup looks now because I figured out that I'm neutral. Now, what made it so difficult to figure out if I was cool or neutral was because I do have neutral skin tone where I can wear gold or silver jewelry, or I can wear, multiple colors, but I am neutral undertone, but I do lean cool. So I do have that rosiness and pinkiness, which is why my veins are kind of a mix of all three of the colors. So if I'm going to be looking at foundations, sometimes I will look at if they have a neutral leaning cool. Sometimes I'll look at if they have just neutral, just go straight flat neutral. And if they have neutral leaning, maybe sometimes a little more warm to offset my cool tone. Just kind of depends on the foundation brand. But just know that you can have aspects of the other undertones, and you're not always just one straight undertone. Another little test that I kind of mentioned is putting gold or silver jewelry up to your face and your skin and seeing what looks best against your skin tone. If you are more warm tone, then gold jewelry is going to look the best. It's going to really enhance that goldness running through your skin. And if you're cool tone, then silver is going to look the best because it's not going to compete with the cool that you have going on in your skin. If you're neutral like I am, then you can wear both. My earrings are gold here, but I have a white and gold wedding ring. And so really just depends on my day, how I'm feeling. And also it depends kind of where I'm putting that jewelry, because I find that if I wear silver shoes, my feet are a little more pink and that red rosiness. So when I wear silver shoes, it makes my skin look very sickly. But if I wear gold shoes, then I look very even toned. Keep in mind that your skin is different throughout your body. Now, comment down below, which undertone do you think you are? Now let's talk about fall color palette. When I think of fall, I'm thinking of leaves that are dying and they're turning orange and red and, yellow, and they're starting to fall, and the grass is kind of turning yellow and maybe a little bit brown. We want to play into those natural earthy colors into our fall palettes. So, we have warm browns here and playing into mustard and maybe some berry tones and also copper or rust colored. And then we've got, like this burnt orange here and some other burnt yellows, dark yellows. And here's another palette with a mustard yellow, and then kind of a rust red color, and then a purpley plum over here, and then you've got your golds in the middle there. And then this palette is one of my favorites because it is just fall everything. I mean, you've got your olive greens over here, and you've got your copper right here, and some of your burgundy and plum shades. And then some other colors that we want to keep in mind for other skin tones are our taupes and then also our mauves. Now, very classic fall colors are going to be your warm browns, your burnt oranges, mustard yellows, your plum, and your burgundy, and golds as well. If you have a warm skin tone, really play into that warmth. Those warm browns, those warm oranges, the golds, the coppery, the rust colors, very terracotta. If you have a cool tone skin, then those warm colors are really going to compete with your skin tone. So that's why I brought in the mention of taupes as well as mauves, because these can still play into those plum and kind of burnt red colors a little bit, but they're softer for cool toned skin people. And they're still playing along with those fall colors, just along with their skin tone. And if you're neutral, you can do whatever you want. You can do a mixture of all of these and make a really balanced look. If you're olive skin tone, again, you're in that neutral family. So if you're a little more cool toned olive, then you're going to play into those mauves and khakis a little bit more. If you're warm olive tone, then you're going to play into maybe those oranges and browns a little bit more. Now, color theory for eyes. Depending on your eye color, we want to keep in mind our skin tone and then our eye color. Now, if we look at a color wheel, I'll put one up on screen here. I have blue eyes. If I look opposite from the color wheel, that's going to fall into the orange family. So maybe a little bit of red, but not too much. So I could, really play into those coppery colors, especially warm oranges, and brown is going to fall in there as well. Brown really helps my blue eyes pop super well, whether it's warm, neutral, cool toned. And then green is kind of a complementary color. And depending on the tone of green, if it's a warmer green like olive, then it looks good on my eyes. If it's a blue green, then it actually competes with my blue eyes because that blue green is taking away from the blue of my eyes. That's why I typically don't do blue eyeshadow, although it's super, super pretty. It competes with my natural blue eyes and it washes them out a lot. Now, if you have green eyes, your complementary colors for fall are going to be your rust and your burnt oranges and plums and burgundies. Those are going to be so beautiful on your green eyes. And if you have hazel eyes where they're a mixture of gold and brown and green, then you're going to kind of be able to play around with all of the colors from the color wheel because you kind of have that neutral eye. But just look in the mirror, which color is more prominent in your eye color? That's the one you want to play with the most. So if you predominantly have more brown in your hazel eye, then maybe playing in the plums and the olive greens is going to help your eyes pop really well. It might even make that green in your hazel eye pop because you're wearing olive tone. If you have more green in your hazel eye, then playing into those plums and the rust, it's going to make that green just pop super well. And if you have gold playing into those plums and the rust and the copper, those are going to enhance your eyes super well. Now, when it comes to color theory for your face, again, we want to keep in mind our undertone because there are many different versions of blush and bronzer and lip colors. If you are warm tone, you're going to be sticking to your peach kind of blushes, your terracotta blushes, those very warm, goldeny kind of blushes, right? And if you're cool tone, you're gonna be sticking to more of your berries and other rosy, mauvey kind of blushes. And if you're neutral, you can do whatever you want. You can mix and match. I typically like to do more of a monochromatic look, matching my eyes, playing with different tones within the same color family. For bronzer, really you want to, if you're warm tone, sticking to those more warm, caramely kind of bronze colors. If you're cool tone, sticking to rosier bronzers. It's so wonderful because in the last several years, companies have really come out with a lot more rosy tone blushes. I think NYX has a couple of wonderful ones. Mine that I love is my Gucci one. It's very pricey, but it is a rosy tone bronzer. I know that Jones Road, she has some rosy bronzers. Those are going to play very nicely with your cool tone skin. And if you're neutral, if you're like me, that's neutral leaning cool, I actually prefer my warmer bronzers to really help emphasize and balance my face out. And then I can come in with a cooler toned blush and play to that cool toneness of my face. And then if you are warm tone for your lips, you're gonna wanna stick to those really like cinnamon kind of colors and the browns, the more like peachy nudes. And then if you're cool tone, you're gonna wanna stay on more mauve colors and your berries. And if you are neutral, again, you have free range, whatever works best for you. I tend to find that for my neutral leaning cool tone skin, I can't do the peachy nudes. First of all, it makes my teeth look very yellow, and also it just does not play with my skin tone very nicely at all. So I tend to stick with more pinky nudes. That works best for my skin tone. Again, depending on placement of where your makeup is, you're gonna have different skin tone throughout your face. And so one color may work, I can do peachy blush, but if I try and do a peachy lip, nope, no go. This is all about experimenting. There is no right and wrong, but there is trying to figure out what works best for your skin tone so that you can walk around feeling flawless and put it together. Once you understand color theory, every makeup look just looks fantastic and it makes sense. It's fine. It's like your makeup finally clicks and it's so relieving. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and especially subscribe so that I can keep creating more awesome content like this for you guys. And if you really enjoyed this color theory fall inspired video, then you'll want to go ahead and check out this video here where I do a cohesive makeup look for the fall, how to achieve that, and all the tips that I use. And I'll see you there. Bye.